Shut up and sit down.
Hello folks, Colin here, Festa 67's Workshop, and welcome to issue 12 of Build Your Own Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 from 1967 from the wonderful folks over at DeAgostini. Now, if you'd like to grab one of these, click this link all the way along there. Head over to the DeAgostini website and take out your very own subscription to this massive 1/6 scale motor. You're not going to be disappointed, folks. So in this week's magazine, we have got the Shelby Cobra 427. After proving his great talent with the 289, Carroll Shelby began working on a new project, the Cobra 427. His main aim was to race the car, but that proved impossible because it couldn't get FIA homologation. Nevertheless, the Cobra 427 was to become one of the most remarkable and fascinating sports roadsters in the history of automobiles. Yes, folks, the Shelby Cobra. What more can you say? Literally, it was brute power. It says, one feature that made the Shelby visually distinctive was its wide fenders. The reason for their size is they had to cover the very wide tyres, particularly those at the rear, which had to transmit the power of the engine to the road surface. It had what we would call a bit of bite, folks. Yes, there's the man himself, Carroll Shelby. Carroll Shelby always supervised his racing team very closely. The excellence of the Shelby American race technicians was one of the keys to the success in competition. Would you class that now as micromanaging these days? The left door window mechanism is what we're going to be doing today. So grab everything that you had in the last issue, the door, the little windows and all of that, because you're going to be putting in all of this gubbins, folks, today. All the cocks and hinges and things like that, just to make these windows work. So a little bit of a fiddly stage today, but you should be fine, folks. Be careful when you're opening all your packets that you're getting all the screws and everything that you need. There's steps 12, 12.5, 12.6 and 7 all the way through, and your end result today will be all of this. Okay, that's what you're after. Your window guide, everything in place like so. And this is going to be what you're doing, near side door. Or for the US, it'd be an offside door, left-hand side, wouldn't it? The Ford GT90 was an inspiring supercar. It's the forerunner of new edge design at Ford, inspiring many of the brand's production models on both sides of the Atlantic. Yes, folks, beginnings of what we in the UK call a jelly mould. That's what cars have ended up looking like. The V12 engine come from Ford's family of modular engines and was previously tested in a Lincoln sedan. There you go. With a long wheelbase to accommodate the V12 engine in a longitudinal centre position, the GT90 was a two-seater with a very short overhangs and compact appearance. Got a very futuristic look about it, hasn't it? Yeah, due to the design of its centrally located, the rear end recalled the look of the racing Ford GT40. Yeah, it does, with that triangular exhaust there. But yeah, this is the beauty of the concept art, though. Drawing of the 5th generation Mustang, which was inspired by the GT90's new edge aesthetic. Carbon fibre body there on it. This was the Jaguar XJ220, was a large supercar of which fewer than 300 units were produced. But yeah, they really went for it. But the GT90 was built on the chassis of an XJ220, folks. So yeah, there you go. So that's this week's magazine looked at. So let's have a looky-kins at what we're going to be assembling. And we'll get all the bits and bobs together, folks, for you. So we got a large pulley, a medium-sized one. We've got hinge components under here. So we've got a fair bit of gubbins going on. So we get that all laid out. And I tend to lay them out as per the diagram just on the page there, just for my own preference. And then we've got the screws here. We've got PSO5s. So we'll grab one of them from the packet. And again, I tend to leave my packets by the screw that I've actually got out, because it just helps me memorise it. Just my own personal thing. Keep one up there, so let's just drop them down there like so. Shouldn't get these mixed up because they're all slightly different, but you never know. And then you've got your DSO2 screws just here, folks. So let's grab a few of them. Like that. There you go. And then we'll keep that one in the packet as it's spare. Just like that. And then we need the door mechanism from what we've done before, which is that section there, and the window retainer, or the window guide. So we'll just put them just there like so. Right, it's now saying grab the hinge. Now be careful on this, you've got to get the orientation right. If you look at that, it's a bit like a block of cheese. See the taper going up there? You want that there, like that, okay? That's what you want, because you've got piece number 12C to go over it, which is a piece of metal, and it's held in place with a DSO2 screw, okay? So pop that on there, locate it on the 2 pins, and then you've got a DSO2 screw to go on. So let's grab our screwdriver, a screwdriver in this, grab one of them, and we'll oil that up because we're going into die cast. I've got my little oiler just to the side here. Single drop, plop, like that. And then we can put that in place. And that will screw straight in. There you go. So I'm happy with that. So that's the beginnings of the hinge. Then we've got the internal window guide. This is the base of it, and it's this piece here. By fitting its pins into the holes on the posts on the door as shown in the photos, press the base into place and secure it with a single DS screw. So that is going over there, according to that, on them 3 little pegs there. I'm just going to grab the instructions just to make sure. You've got 2 pins there, and you should have a screw hole. So we just want to guide that in place, like so. Just try and find them pins, Colt. So I need to come up with my eyes of seeing this there, folks, I'm afraid. So if I go for the bottom pin, and then try and locate that one in. A little bit fiddly, but it will go. He says, there you go. So you've got 2 pegs and it will line up with this screw just in the middle there. Another DSO2. Like that. Bit of oil. Don't need a lot, only a drop. And then we'll screw that into the die cast peg. And again, we'll screw this fully on because we don't want this rattling away. Because if it rattles against the window, it may scratch or damage the mechanism. There you go, and give it a little shimmy just to make sure it's located. So that's what we've got there. Now we add the gears. First fit the medium gear, which was 12E, which is that one. It's telling us to fit that, and it's got the little cut out keyhole section. And it says onto the post left of the hinge bracket as shown, okay? So that goes up over there like that. According to that, have you a bit of him? Yep, seems to fit on there quite nicely. And then it's saying 12B, which is this one. You then want next to it on this post, just there, okay? So line it up with the post and then engage the gears. So, and then give it a little check to make sure you've got turnage, folks, okay? And then 12F, which is this little sprocket, will then go on this post over here, like that. Okay, so that's all the gears in place. So we've got them dry fitted, so we're happy with that, and just give them a check to make sure that they all move. Okay, once they're in place, secure the small gear with a DS04 screw, which is one of them. Bonk. So we'll have that, do that now. And just work your way through your instructions. Take your time, folks. There's no hurry. Especially on stages like this, because it is easy to get lost. Especially if you're new to Partworks. So study your instructions. That's what they're there for. And then we screw that fully home so that the gear itself don't rattle. We want it retained, but we don't want it to the point it doesn't turn. There you go. And then it says once fastened, check the gears move nicely. Okay. So that's what we want. It says repeat this for the other two gears. Do not over tighten the screws. So let's get the other two gears in situ. That's a DS4 screw on each one. Just like that. A single drop of oil. Bump. And then do the same. And again, just test every gear when you do it. Each gear you put a screw in. Just give the mechanism a test just to make sure it all still turns freely. Because the temptation is to fully tighten these down, and then you're going to have gears that won't move properly. Give them a little jiggle. That's what you want. There you go. And they all still turn nicely. So we can back them right home, like so. And then you've got another screw that goes down on that one. That's quite a deep little tunnel, that one going down, but it will go. There you go. So let's grab this and do the same, like so, all the way down. Boom, just like that. That went in a lot easier than I thought it would, that screw. So let's get that fully home. There you go. And then gears now turn freely, and they're not going to go anywhere now. Okay. That's what you got. So we're happy with that. We then have the left window supplied with issue 11 and place it in position on the door. The post on the internal window base should fit into the groove lower section of the window as shown. Okay, so you want it in there, and you want this piece here. See this? You want that in this groove there. Okay. Like that. There you go. Right. It says finally fix the internal window guide 11C in place with the DS2 screw, which is this from the previous issue, folks. Okay. So that'll go over that like so on there, and then sit above that, and that will hold all of that lot in place then. Okay, so that's what we want. And you want the DS02 screw like so, and then put a bit of oil on there. And that will leave us one PS05 screw that will go in this piece then. Let's get that in place on there. There you go. And then you've got your last screw for this issue, which is this one. And this is a PS05. Like so. Straight in there. Like that. And again, we want to make sure that goes right home. Like that. And then what should happen then when you turn all of this is your window will go down like that. That's the theory. Like that, see? So like I say, once all your liner's on and that, it'll hold that edge, see, and it'll just let that wind down quite nicely. So that's what you're going to end up with, folks. A fully working door window. How cool is that? So that's this issue wrapped up for today. Remember, folks, if you want to grab one of these, click this link all the way along there. Head over to the DeAgostini website. Subscribe and grab your very own Shelby GT500. You can build along with me. So until the next issue, stay safe and well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye bye for now. Look at that. Windy window. Windy window. Bye bye.